So two people with Will of the Ancients are both going to have a 50% spell vamp, which is going to be extremely powerful on heroes like Rumble and Swain.
Yeah, Swain definitely with his ulti pop to just go full health from nothing really, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So how are things stacking up? 7-5 Fnatic with that advantage, obviously coming out okay in that Bathan bottom. The turret on the bottom literally needs one singular shot from Lamia.
You could cap it.
Yeah,
probably break it.
Which is what they're going to build up for. The question is, how are Jarvan and Nunu going to play out now? Because Jarvan is up to 8. He can quite easily farm anything quite happily. He can also interrupt quite well. He's got the great ulti. He's got a great... The Damashi standard Dragon Strike slide through. It's a good interrupt, but he's going to be cast as the tank, and he's going to be against Sleazy, who's the... Well, Alistair, since his buff, he's pretty much featured in every single game unless he's banned. So he's become a very strong tank again. He's, I guess you say, the flavour of the month. I don't know. It's the tanks tend to go around. It was Galio, by the way. Anyone that was listening to the ST, it was Galio that I couldn't remember the name of. For the life of me, he was played like consistently until he got nerfed through the floor by literally everyone.
Yes, it's a bit of a shame. Galio is in a pretty bad spot at the moment. Did Ocelot disconnect there? He's just standing there? Oh no, there you go, he woke up. Just standing there taking the punishment from a ranged minion. SK may be setting up for a gank. No, Nunu is leaving again. There is a ward. Yes, he sees the ward, so he knows that they know he's there. 3 men from Fnatic rotating down bot as well. With Rumble bot in the bushes now. I don't think that SK have seen Rumble in the bushes quite yet. But they do know, obviously, he's missing from top, so they are being careful. Oh, Lamia face checking the bush, gets a headbutt and a pulverize, but that's not too much damage. Now, if Shushay changes bushes right now, he will be seen by his SK. He needs to wait for them to push these minions further so he can do the famous ninja gank. See if that's going to happen. Farfane coming back bottom. Taric taking position in the bushes here, but obviously spotted by the water he's taking down right now. And then pulverize down on Taric. There is Nunu as well with the Ice Blast. Rumble is getting in position to help Taric. A stun on Nunu and a double slow lance on Nunu as well, but they don't chase Nunu down. It's probably the right call at this point.
Yeah, they just backed away. And now that the difference is that Cyanide's obviously got himself built attack damage-wise and attack speed. He can easily just hold that lane. Meanwhile, Wicked does ulti straight onto him. I don't think he's going to worry too much about it. He's going to be able to just Dragon Strike and slide straight out of there and pop his shield to get the slowdown. So, yeah, I mean, it was all stacking up down the bottom. Meanwhile, that turret is now down because Lamia literally needed one single shot on it, which is what he's done. The ulti going down from Rumble there, trying to slow down a Farfane. The stun is going to land on Farfane. Farfane surely the target will, but it's for Lamia. Pop the ulti. No, not going to quite finish him off. 210 health, and he is going to get out of there. Meanwhile, Warwick is pushing on towards the top turret, so Sino has not been able to leave that. He has got the Lizard buff on, but he wants to just use his 6-second hit on Wicked, but obviously Wicked could just lifesteal it all straight back at the moment. Rumble, meanwhile, is passing through the jungle up towards Brand. I'll keep my eye on that. You can see it, the ping factor, they've just pinged it literally, so there must be a ward somewhere around there. They've clairvoyanced it, actually. So SK saw that. Still 7-5, first turret down, first dragon down. So SK picking up the first dragon, Fnatic picking up the first tower, and you can see Rumble now coming up river, and Wicked's actually that confident he's just going to head him off. He's just like, yeah, come on, I'll take a 1v1 with you, no problem. Wicked actually built himself up a wit's end. He saw they said that chalice as well, and the just the level 1 boots. There looks like SK are going to stack up in the mid here, so maybe going to have a little poke at towards mid turret. Whether they're going to, yeah, Sleazy's just been caught out. Just got a glimpse of Melisande putting that ward down. He is going to go on towards Bexp. Does manage to put the ulti, but like we mentioned, he's going to pop that ulti. He got all the damage. It is Wicked they're going for. Lamia does manage to get the ulti across him. Does pick up the PK does pick up the kill eventually. Rumble meanwhile has got free reign now, that top turret, because there's no one there to cover it off. He may well be able to get it down before anyone reacts to it. Meanwhile, they're having to defend in mid, so it's working well for Fnatic, just like he did in the first game. They're managing to get that advantage. Sleazy just headbutting Lamia out there, just kind of trying to keep the main AD damage dealer away from that turret. So Nunu does come up to head off, but Nunu only on half health here. Sushi's got himself quite well booked. He's got that Will of the Ancients, actually. He's gone for it first. He's going to dive in, flashes straight towards Farfane. Farfane getting eaten alive by Sushi there, and he's going to be able to take the turret down as well. So well played Fnatic at the moment. They are in a good, strong position here, Daniel.
Yes, absolutely, and Rumble just using his ulti to clean out a minion wave here. You don't see that from Rumble quite that often. Rumble's ulti obviously being more important team fights than Misfortune's ulti, because it has that slow as well. I was going to say about Warwick, he is still building pretty much only magic resist, which may strike some of you as strange because there is a very strong Misfortune on the enemy team. But in teamfight situations, most of the damage that Misfortune is going to put out is going to be magic damage as well. With her W, her E, and her R all doing magic damage. So it's a very good build, and Fnatic got the dragon exactly as it spawns. There's no way that SK are going to get here in time. So it's looking good for Fnatic. It looks like they may be in this game, but obviously it looked just like that last game, and I would not want to be in Cynide's shoes if Fnatic are going for a Baron again this time around. That will be a lot of pressure.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like we mentioned, the first game they were in very good control at the lane phase. They took the turrets down early, which is exactly what they've done here. I mean, the top turret's on, 76 health. The mid turret's only on 900 health. They're just coming around. They're going to steal the red there. Just Nunu having a quick look. I guess they know he's there. They've just got a glimpse of him, and they are going to finish it off stealing it. PK needs to be a little bit wary he doesn't get caught by Limelight and Sleazy. And Sushi's had to go top. Warwick, you can see he's porting away, actually using his ulti again to farm the lane there, just to clear that lane out, make sure that turret doesn't get hit. So they're really protecting these turrets quite heavily. They know that. Surely, does he know that Warwick's there? Yes, he is. He's going to come around.
If you look at bot lane, Fastbane gets caught in the jungle there. And his ulti, that was a waste of an ulti. That was never going to channel for long enough to do any amount of damage. And he's going to respawn, he's not going to have his ulti. So that is it's an understandable reflex. You die, so you may as well press R, but it's often better to just hold the R. As you can see, Tariq heals that damage, no problem. And they may be trying to go for that tower right now, as Warwick is top against Shushay right now. The two of them are duking it out. Oh, Warwick may be winning that. Yeah, there is the ulti from Warwick. And Shushay in a lot of trouble. He's probably down.
He's trying to get away. One last swipe. Surely going to finish him off. Yes, it is. There he goes. Launched into the air. Launched in the air. So that is a rumble down. And the mid turret does go down as while that was happening. So, yeah, I mean, and SK actually said, come on, Farfane, actually, you know, focus now. You just got picked off down the bottom, like you mentioned, just as he was being caught. He got literally caught out. It was a pretty obvious catch as well, because they pushed forward. They knew they were in the jungle because they'd just taken the red buff in there.
Yes, they were
yeah. So they knew they were there. Meanwhile, Wicked is going to continue to try and take this top turret. He's trying to farm as much as possible, try and catch up. It's 103 to Rumble's 109, so it's actually pretty even between those. One's got 4 kills, one got 3 kills. So, you know, gold-wise, the two top lanes are fairly even. PK's going to come straight up. Wicked is there. Surely he's just going to get straight out, unless he manages to catch him with the root. No, he won't. Bearing in mind that top turret is only on 76 health. So this fight, if it could go badly wrong for SK here, he does manage to catch Wicked there. He's going to put a little bit of damage on him. Not going to do too much. Sleazy and Limelight also coming round. So SK are stacking up. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's trying to farm as much as possible down the bottom. They're just trying to catch up. Needs to really get herself into it. Has got the Bloodthirster up there. The turret does go down. They're not going to catch anyone with that. Wicked is actually going to ulti in on towards PK. Cyno goes diving in. Rest of Fnatic now coming around the side. Lammy is in perfect position to pop the ulti surely, but then Wicked does just about get straight onto it. Wicked is going to go down. The ulti does get popped. Farfane goes down as well. Oh my word. Cyanide just escapes as well with 100 health. And PK is surely going to finish off Limelight here. Lamiat comes in and around. And that was 3 for 1, actually 3 for 0. Sleazy's also going to get caught. The Rambles go down and he pops his ulti, tries to do as much as he can, but I think he's going to get away, yeah. But that means surely this inner turret also going to go down. Meanwhile, Rumble had gone down bottom to cut off Ocelot's push on that tower. Ocelot needs to be a little bit careful here going on towards the aggression, and it is PK that's low, but I wouldn't fancy going anywhere further than that turret, which is what he's not going to do.
He has the range to push them away from safety. That was a brilliant Misfortune ulti. You saw she was holding ulti. I was like, ulti already,
Yeah.
They're all clumped up, but Lamia is obviously the better player, and he knew exactly that he had to wait for Warwick to die before he could even consider ulting. Even though Warwick blew his ultimate already, he knew that Warwick could jump on him and just do horrible damage. So he waited for Warwick to die. And the moment Warwick died, he channeled a perfect ultimate.
Yeah, and got the full ulti off as well, which is put SK really up against it now. 13-6 down. They're going to try up and get wards on towards Baron, because ironically, actually, the first game, it was quite an early Baron. We were talking about it yesterday because I was watching the CLG versus EG game, and I think they went for Baron around 25 minutes, and we were just saying, you know, all day long, it's been at least half an hour before people go for Baron on the European games. Whereas we saw this morning, obviously, Fnatic went for about 25 minutes, which is why SK have immediately gone straight up there and started warding it up. They've, I guess Dragon is probably on 24-40, so that's another minute away. So PK needs to be a little bit wary. He's on his own in jungle. He's just stealing that. They know that he's around there. Wicked may well get his ulti down on him. Yes, he will do. They are going to go for PK. PK surely going to get caught out here. Yes, he will do. So, yeah, I mean, that was a little bit rash there from PK, getting caught out in the jungle, really just for taking 2 wraiths.
Yeah, that was not a good idea to be there at that time, especially with all of SK missing. Tariq found a couple of wards in the river, did not find any wards directly at Dragon. But Dragon is no longer warded from SK, so after this push they need to go and reward it or just be very, very cautious about Fnatic. Fnatic may want to take Dragon again very quickly. There's already a Wriggles Lantern on Jarvan, obviously, and with the damage from Lamia they can take Baron in such a short time. Wow, we see a Bloodthirster and already a second BF sword plus a Zeal on Misfortune. She is doing really well for herself this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And she obviously had the advantage of taking that tower down early while the Dragon was being fought over and getting a lot of damage on there. So she's had pretty clear farm, 175 CS, 137 for Swain, 148 for Rumble. As we can see the, I'm keeping my camera on the Dragon. You can see them stacking up there. Need to be a little bit wary. There's the double ward just been put down in that bush. In fact, both vision wards as well, I think. They, oh no, they're just, no, just normal wards. Oh, they're going to come around for Blue. Blue does get taken down. Actually, Rumble ulti used already there, a little bit too early, shooting his own. Maybe Sleazy's going to get pulverized down. Actually missing the pulverize, I think. I saw him using it there. Sleazy's going to go down very quickly. He's still just hanging on there. PK, meanwhile, is life stealing away, giving everything to everyone there. And the SK have come out very badly in that fight. Melisand's going to flash through, going to surely get a stun. Who's going to be the target? It will be Limelight. Limelight's the main damage dealer, going to take him straight out of the fight. So that was 3, I think. Is Ocelot does go down here. They're going to get pinned by Sushi. Does get taken down. That was 3-0. So really strong team fight from Fnatic there, despite actually ironically putting down Rumble's ulti too early and not really catching anywhere. So PK just life stealing away on that Dragon. So second Dragon now to Fnatic, I believe that is 2-1 in Dragons.
That's what it should be. Actually, that ulti wasn't bad at all. I have to defend Shusha here for just a moment. It did quite some damage, and more importantly, because of the way that they had to get out of the ulti, SK was flipped in a very, very bad way. But that gave Fnatic a perfect initiation into that fight, and that is why that fight went down so badly for SK so quickly.
Right, okay. So Fnatic now, I think has he got any wards on him? Yes, he is. He's going to get defensive wards out for Baron. Pings are going on there from SK, so they know that they're almost likely to go for Baron here. But the question is, how are they going to deal with that? I think Sleazy, I swear to God, I saw him do Pulverize and miss everyone, despite the fact he was almost in the middle of them. He put his Pulverize down and nobody got caught by it. So he was a little unlucky by Sleazy there. But yeah, I mean, PK, I think, was the target, and then he just popped his ulti and life-stealed away. He's got quite a lot of ability power now with 180. As you mentioned, Willie the Ancients is on Sushi, who was obviously stood right next to him, which is giving that life-steal health as well. So he's the bonus from the aura. Farfane needs to be a little bit wary there. He's got 4 next to him. You know, PK could easily catch him with the brambles there, and he would go down, because the turret, I don't think would be able to stop them. In fact, he put the brambles down eventually, but was a little bit slow with it. Meanwhile, Caitlyn is down bottom, continuing to push, so then while the entire Fnatic team are stacking up in and around, clearing out the jungle, and actually going to port back Cyanide first. So they're not going to go for... Oh, he just got interrupted on his Dragon. I was going to say he's not going to go for Baron just yet. Instead, they're going to push this mid-turret.
Yeah, and Shusha with a needlessly large rod as well, now at 264 AP, highest AP in the game at the moment. And they are taking red right now, but SK are setting up to be 5 in their jungle, while Misfortune just portaled home and Jarvan is also still home. But SK are not pushing it. They could have pushed it there. They're going back into mid.